how's your offseason been? What specifically have you been working on? And obviously, have a few things on the personal side that have gone pretty well too.
Yeah, off-season's been going good. A lot of relaxation, family time. Just been working every day with everything, kind of just like a normal off-season where you're just trying to fine-tune all aspects of the game. So, yeah, it's been good. It's been, I think, really productive.
So when you look back on 2023, what went right for you, and where do you feel needs improvement? What do you hope to take next step in 24?
Yeah. Well, what went well is I think I had a really good season defensively, and the guys that I caught, which I take a lot of pride in, they had career years. So that's my main focus, is making sure that they're taken care of and they're doing well. And then things to improve on, I think just kind of finding consistency with my offense, finding something that works for me and not changing so much during the season. So that's kind of what I've been working on, is finding something that feels really comfortable for me, which I think I've found, and just building off of it and sticking with it the whole year rather than tinkering and doing a whole lot of changing. So I think I'm in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, I think when we saw at the Turkey event, so like you kept on changing your stance order. How much of it too though was, or any of it, approach?
Yeah, it was a big learning year for me. I was trying a bunch of different things, and I was learning a bunch of things that I had never really heard of before with the new hitting staff coming in. So there was a lot of new information thrown at me at once, and I think I was trying to do too much of it at one time. So this offseason, I've kind of just been like filtering out the stuff that I learned and trying to apply the stuff that I like, and finding a feel and an approach that really works for me. So I think it's been going really well. Like I said, I feel really good right now. I feel really confident. So I'm excited for this year.
How much have you, I guess, been in contact with the hitting staff this offseason? Do they kind of give you like a, here, work on this?
Yeah. I've been taking videos and sending them to Mabes. I would say 2-3 times a week. So I've been in touch with them quite a bit. So yeah, we've just been kind of bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other, and different drills and stuff in the weight room that I can be doing to help. So yeah, there's been a lot of work done, and I feel really, really good heading into the year.
How much have you talked or communicated with Christian Bethencourt yet?
I haven't spoken at all. I'm assuming I'll meet him here this weekend. But no, I haven't had any communication yet.
Is there anything you're looking forward to picking his brain in defensively?
Absolutely, yeah. He's comes from an organization to where they're very analytical. So I'm very curious to hear his take on what they did over there, and maybe stuff that we can bring over here to help. And yeah, he's been around for a long time, and he's a great defender. He's got a cannon of an arm. So yeah, anything that I can learn from him will always be knowledge worth knowing. So
how much of the offseason have you spent working on specifically defensively, like throwing to second base, and just improving more on the blocking, even though you were great last year?
Yeah, I've been working on everything. Like I said, the offseason is kind of a culmination of trying to improve every aspect of the game. So no player is perfect, and there's always room to improve on every aspect. So yeah, hitting, blocking, throwing, receiving, like everything, I've just been trying to fine tune and get as good as I physically can be at all those things.
Nick, while Christian was added, the team has not signed another catcher to a major league contract. Do you take that as a show of faith in you from Peter Bendix?
Yeah, I would say so. I love our staff. I love Skip, and I've met Peter a couple times now, and I think it's a really good addition, and I think our organization's in a really good spot right now. So yeah, I think I feel the confidence, and I feel the confidence in myself as well, which I think is the most important part. So I think I'm in a good spot.
Your playing time was kind of like 50-50 between you and Stallings last year. What, it might be unfair to say, but what would you like your role to be?
I mean,
what are you aiming for?
Yeah.
What would you be your goal?
I mean, I would love to maximize my capabilities and be the best catcher I could possibly be. And I think that, it's in there for me. And I think if I can maximize everything to the best of my abilities, I think, I can be a really good catcher in this league. So the playing time is all up to Skip, obviously. But yeah, I really just want to try to focus on maximizing my potential, honing my skills, and just, like I said, trying to become the best all-around catcher that I can possibly be. The rest will come.
As someone who was behind the plate for every start for both Braxton and Jesus, what stood out about their seasons, and what's the next step for both of them?
Well, I mean, the consistency is what stood out to me. I mean, they were able to put together such a great season, but, you know, it's a long season. They were able to stay healthy the whole time and, you know, learn from mistakes and be able to make adjustments. So, I mean, they grew so much. It's impossible to just pinpoint one thing, but I'm really excited to see what they have in store for 2024, and I'm excited to be a part of it because, you know, they're two amazing left-handed arms.
How much time this spring training would you like to spend maybe catching some of the guys you didn't get to catch as much because Jacob had them last year?
Yeah, I would love to continue to get to know all the pitchers that we have had, you know, last year and the new pitchers that we acquired this year. It's important to me. Like I said, it's my number one priority is to make sure that those guys are taken care of and maximizing their abilities, because if we have a good pitching staff, it puts us in a really good spot to win. So that's my number one priority. So yeah, I would like to continue to get to know the pitchers that I didn't really get to catch much last year, and, you know, try to make an impact on them as much as I can to help maximize their abilities.
So
After a good 2023 and obviously making it to the playoffs, how does that motivate you and the rest of the guys looking forward to this 2024 season?
Yeah, I think it kind of just gives us a sense of perspective of like how much it actually takes to make it to that point. And you know, a lot of the guys in there had never felt that or felt that grind and that camaraderie, I would say. So now that we have had a taste and you know, we've kind of been there before, I think we can take what we learned into next year. And so I think just the experience is going to be the biggest factor for us in going forward.
Do you think the team's currently constructed is enough to make it back to the postseason in 2024?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of the same players that we had last year, and like I said, with a little bit more experience now, so I think that just elevates everybody that we have even more. So yeah, absolutely. We've got unbelievable staff. We've got tons of bats that can do damage and get on base. So yeah, and I believe in our staff as well. So yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Obviously, you mentioned, like, you know, working on the defense, but how much of the time do you also spend maybe studying the pitchers on the off season?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of pitchers that are, you know, around the area. Where in Jupiter, whether it be Jupiter or here in Miami, so I've spent a lot of time either hanging out with them or catching their bullpens as they start to ramp up towards spring training. So yeah, continuing to get to know them if they add new pitches or stuff like that. Yeah, it's a very important part, and I'm glad that we have so many guys in the area to where I can keep, you know, track of them and help them out, and just get to know what they're working on. That way I'm more prepared for spring, so it's very good.
So is that like Braxton, Luzardo, maybe Bender?
Yeah, Braxton, Luzardo, Bender, yeah, those three guys specifically. But we have, you know, guys that are in AAA with us, like Jeff Lindgren, that have, you know, come up and down, Josh Simpson, those guys have been around as well. So yeah, just getting to know those guys, because those guys are an important piece of what we do as well. So
Braxton, for example, mentioned he kept on working on his changeup, and then Nardi mentioned he had a splitter. Have you had a chance to look at those?
yeah, so you know, I catch Braxton every time he throws, and Luzardo as well. Nardi just got down a couple days ago here to Jupiter. So yeah, I caught his first bullpen when he showed up, and splitter looks really good. But yeah, that's why I like being here, is whenever guys start to show up, I'm able to kind of get like a first look at them whenever they do show up. So yeah, they both look really good.
Did he tell you ahead of time or throw you off with the splitter?
No, just, you know, threw me off. He's like, hey, I've been working on this. So I was like, okay, well, it looks good.
Watch out.
Nick, just wanted your perspective on this. From being around Yuri now for part of a year, what's the unique skill or skills that could have someday us talking about him as someone who could be a perennial all-star type?
Yeah, he's obviously got the weapons that you would need to be an all-star. I mean, it's very obvious. He throws, you know, 100 miles an hour. He's got a wipeout slider. I mean, he's got so many weapons. But the thing that I think really separates him, especially for a kid his age, is just his demeanor. Like, he's been able to go into some tough environments, you know, throughout the year and still perform and put up numbers. So it's very cool to see a kid that's 19 years old, because I think back to when I was 19 years old, and I'm like, there's no way I would be able to be doing this at 19 years old. But he's just different. He's wired differently, and he's got great composure, and he's a great kid. He's a great teammate. So very humble. He's he's got all the makings to be a superstar in this league.
Nick, we kind of saw a little bit towards the end of the season without Sandy, but it's going to be a whole 2024 without him. Who do you look forward steps up to the plate from the rotation, and how do you add to that group of guys, knowing that they might, want to give the little extra because they're missing a piece like Sandy?
Yeah, I mean it's a real bummer that he's not going to be with us for 2024, but we've got so many other guys that I think, like you said, can step up. Brax, had an unbelievable year last year. If he builds on it and grows, that's going to be fun to see. Luzardo as well. I mean, he could be a Cy Young as well. He's got the stuff and the demeanor. Yuri's, coming through his second year now, and we've got guys coming up through the minors that are good as well. So I think we're in a really good spot, and Sandy's going to be around as well. So he's still going to be able to kind of be in guys' ears, and Yuri, and he's still going to be there for advice or whatever they need. So that's a really good thing too, that he's going to be around. So yeah, I think that we definitely have the pieces to have a frontline staff as we did last year.
One final one here. The timer. How do you feel that affected some of the guys, not only within the Marlins but in the league in general?
It definitely made games a lot quicker, which I think everybody liked. The pitchers, it took them a little bit to get used to, but now I think having a full year of it under their belt, I think it'll be a little more natural to them now. They won't be thinking about it as much. They got really good at it throughout the year, and to a point to where we weren't even really thinking about it anymore. So I think with a full year of it under their belt, I don't really foresee any issues with anyone.
Even with 2 seconds less now?
Yeah, I think there were times to where we still had time left over, and it might just be a matter of calling pitches a little quicker or thinking ahead a little bit more. But I think as we get going, I think we'll all get used to it, and it'll kind of fall into place as it did last year.